Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your August 2020 mid-month general reading. We're looking at the last 2 weeks of August, and this reading is for our lovely twins, the air sign of Gemini. Welcome everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks so much for taking the time to be here to watch any of the videos on my YouTube channel. Your likes, your shares, hitting that subscribe button, passing it on, all very welcome and appreciated. Thank you. So, Gemini, this is for you for the last 2 weeks of August 2022. If your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign is in Gemini, it's also relevant if you're cross-watching for a Gemini. It's going to resonate a little differently for everyone, of course. It is a general reading. So if you know your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, watch those videos because they can bring in additional insight and perspective. And if you find that something does really resonate with you and you'd like to peel it back, take a deeper look at it, and reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else, personal readings do make great gifts. You can see my contact information by clicking the description link below. You can email me at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. Actually, I don't know if the description link, sometimes it's below the video, sometimes it's to the right of it, but you can click on that to also see that email address. I do offer quite a wide variety of readings, and I can usually respond with that information the same day. And I'm pretty timely about scheduling too. I do readings full time. This is all that I do. So I work pretty hard at trying to get people in as quick as possible. So if you're interested, message me, send me an email. Okay, Gemini, let's see what the last half of August 2022 looks like for you. I am using the Tarot of Dreams, clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. We begin with the Five of Swords, a hard-won victory, winning at all costs, perhaps questioning if something is worth the effort. With that, we have the Two of Wands, decisions, choices. Which action do I take? Either is something going to be worth the effort that I have to put into it to win, if it's even possible to win, or have I already put in a bunch of effort into something? Is it worth the fight? Is it worth continuing? Next, we have the Queen of Swords. You, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Could be another air sign if they're significant or relevant. The Queen of Swords is the Queen of Air, which governs our intellectual landscape, belief systems, ideology, information, knowledge, education. The Queen of Swords, she's sometimes, nicknamed the divorced, widowed woman, but it doesn't have to be any of those things. But the Queen of Swords, the stereotypical textbook Queen of Swords, she's been through quite a bit. She's learned quite a bit. It's left her with a vast wealth of information, but also, a very low patience level, low tolerance. She doesn't suffer fools well, right? She has no tolerance for BS. She can see right to the heart of something. She can get right down to it. She can be a bit blunt and direct because of her experiences. She is not one that's typically prone to letting emotions, although she feels them as deep as anyone, she's not prone to allowing those emotions to make decisions for her because she's learned, some painful experiences in the past from doing that. So this is somebody who sees things very clearly and tries to make her decisions based on the truth and reality of situations. That sword is literally the sword of truth or of intellect. Sometimes can come off a little reserved or maybe quite blunt, but it's what works for her. With the Queen of Swords, we have strength, facing fears, doubts, insecurities, wrestling with your own shadow self, which is, it's one of those poetic ways of saying, it's time to turn the mirror around and take a look at, what part have I had to play in this? What responsibility do I have, if any, in this situation as well? Because that's part of it, right? And it takes a lot of strength, courage, wisdom, and humility to do that. But those are also the qualities you gain more of by going through that process. So definitely trying to do that here. Next, we have the Ten of Coins, long-term stability and security, inheritance, strong connection to home and family here, long-term stability. And what does long-term stability and security mean? It means, for example, if this is money or practical issues, it means having something, whether it's property or money in the bank, that makes you feel secure enough that you're not worried about tomorrow, next week, next month, or having a relationship that has a lot of practical assurances with it too, that you're not worried about the future. So it's long term. It represents a security and stability, that sense which comes from the long, slow accumulation of what went in to get it. With the 10 of coins, we have the 5 of coins, which is the opposite. It's insufficiency and lack, not having enough, needing to beg, or feeling like you have to beg for everything that you need. It can represent that financially or materially. On an emotional level, it can also represent feeling shut out, abandoned, rejected, not good enough. Sometimes, oh, I just got a prickle on this, must be for somebody out there. Sometimes it can represent feeling like you don't have everything you need or want, but there's something like right close, right there, right around you, and you're discounting it, or you're missing it. You're not looking at it closely enough. And the reason I expounded on that is because I'm feeling a prickle of that for someone. But we'll clarify and more will be revealed, right? So from the bottom of the deck, the overall energy and focus of the last half of August is the Hermit, contemplation, because that's what hermits do, right? Hermits, monks, monastics, they withdraw, whether temporarily or for a longer period of time. Why do they do that? They do that in order to seek out insight, wisdom, knowledge, meditate. And it's easier to kind of hear that inner voice, that connection to divine, your intuition, your higher self, your gut instinct, which is our connection to divine. It's easier to hear that if you can remove yourself in some way, shape, or form from the noise and the daily minutia of our day-to-day lives, right? This is about somebody who has done that and who has gained wisdom, knowledge, experience, or they're working on that to find a way through. It can, and that's kind of the overall theme. It's a very contemplative energy and trying to make a decision here. For the last half of August. It can also, the Hermit can sometimes represent a person in your life, or some person who's relevant, who holds this sort of, wise, knowledge, experienced energy to kind of help you make what is obviously a decision that needs to be made here. Yeah, again, I'm getting this really strong message for, I don't know, somebody, a small group of somebody's. This 10 of coins and 5 of coins, it's like you feel like you don't have what you need, or you're never going to get what you need or something, but it's actually, the opportunity for it is very close to you. I mean, it might be, money, material, a job thing. In relationships, it could be somebody who is offering everything that you want, but for some reason you're discounting them, or you said no, or you're not looking closely enough. Interesting. Okay. Let's clarify the overall energy of the Hermit. The Lovers. Typically, it's a card that represents quite a connected or passionate relationship. There's some history here with somebody. This is a choice card. It represents a choice that needs to be made that's either about the relationship itself, meaning, does this relationship continue? Does it end? Even if it continues, how? Sometimes it can represent a third-party situation where you have to choose between two people. Or if the decision is not about the relationship itself, it might be in another area of life, but it will have a significant or profound impact on a primary relationship. We also have the Ace of Cups. New love and romance, the heart beginning to open up again, emotional renewal in an already existing situation. This looks more or less relationship oriented for many of you. And again, it may be just about this one relationship itself. It may be this relationship, although there's no lack of heat or passion or connection here. It may be that the lover's relationship, as opposed to sometimes the Two of Cups, The Two of Cups has more of a friendship and respect kind of, seeing things and sharing the same ideologies. The Lovers can be sometimes a very tumultuous relationship because, it might be that the two of you are really opposites and you have this connection, but you don't see a lot of things the same way, so it can be kind of tumultuous. So it may be asking yourself if this relationship worth continuing, because it looks like you're considering making a decision as to whether to continue a fight or give up the fight, because it's just taking so much out of you, which does imply for some of you that this relationship has had some issues, quite a lot. And you're wondering if emotional renewal or a new beginning or transformation is possible here. Or should I just give up, right? Let it go. It may be that there is that, and there is the possibility or potential of new love and romance for you. And for those of you for whom that resonates, I feel like that person is quite close to you. And I don't mean necessarily close emotionally, but like in your environment somehow, or you see them often or regularly or something like that. Interesting. All right, let's clarify this Five of Swords. To win at all costs or give up? The Knight of Cups and the Three of Cups. There's an offer here. An offer to get together, to have fun, to meet, to reconcile, to have a good time. Might be an offer for a date, or it might be this already established relationship with the Lovers saying, oh, it'll be fine. Let's just... It's like maybe there's been some issues or difficulty or separation or estrangement, and there's an offer, an opportunity coming in to get back together again, and the other person's like, well, let's just go back to the way things were, and let's have a good time, and yeah. And you're like, should I jump back on this? Should I get back in this? Should I continue this battle, or should I accept this and go, okay, let's ignore the red flags and just... clarify the Two of Wands, choices, decisions. Eight of Wands and Six of Cups, traveling back home, traveling to see friends, traveling to reunite with your person, with your family, with your soulmate, traveling back to history, traveling to a place where you have a connection, or moving quickly towards that historical connection, whether it's a person or an actual place or some combination. I feel like whatever this invitation is, for some of you, it involves travel, or, let's take a trip, let's get back together, let's do the thing, let's just have things go back the way they were. It feels like somebody wants to shove something under the rug here. And maybe that's part of what the issue has been in this relationship. It's just this cycle that keeps repeating over and over and over and over again. You're like, I don't know if I want to do this. Here's yet another opportunity to jump back on start the band back up again. I don't know if I want to keep doing this. I mean, there's no lack of connection and passion and wanting and all of that, but I feel this underlying sense of weariness. And you're trying to make a decision. I think it feels like this is a decision that if you go back, that's just pretty much where you're going to keep yourself. But if you don't, it's something different. And I feel like for some of you, there's something very close here for you. But you would have to say no to this, right, in order to open yourself up to it. Let's clarify that Queen of Swords. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. It's likely you trying to have the strength to figure out what to do, or the strength to say no to that which still pulls at you. Okay. Thank you. The Moon and the Four of Swords, taking a step back, you're tired, rest, recuperation, exhaustion, lack of clarity, lack of knowledge, you're like you don't know what to do and you're tired. Or it may be that your intuition is pulling at you, you're trying not to listen to it because like you're pulled in two different directions. It's like there's something addictive but unhealthy pulling at you. Probably this relationship, this Lover's card. But there's also something else that says, pulling at you in another way, that says, look, there's something beautiful and real and solid and stable over here, and it's right over here, but you're not really seeing it, or not seeing it in the right way, because this over here is, you're focusing on that. And this is where you are like, I'm just taking a step back. I'm tired. I need to rest. I need to get some perspective. The moon, a lack of clarity, deep-seated kind of fears, realistic or not, spiritual things pulling at you, but it's not entirely clear. Let's clarify strength. Oh, poor Gemini. Wow, my moon is in Gemini, so yeah. Unknown, strength. Knight of Swords. There's a conversation there. He's kind of the mailman, conversation bringer of the tarot. Justice. What's the right thing to do here? King of Wands and the Emperor. Both fire signs. Aries is attached to the sign of the Emperor, and the King of Wands is the King of Fire, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Some of you, it may be being involved with a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, maybe a strong Aries for some of you, an older individual, somebody quite set in their ways, just trying to figure out what the right thing is to do. I have to tell you, I wasn't going to pull another card, but the next two cards would have been Death and the Tower, so it may be talking about ending this relationship, like once and for all. But that's only going to resonate for some of you, because here it doesn't, you're not sure. Let's clarify Ten of Coins. Long-term stability and security. Knight of Coins and strength again. On its own, the Knight of Coins, the Ten of Coins, this is some kind of maybe slower moving but very sure and steady offer of long-term stability and security. It could be like a job offer. For some of you, maybe a smaller group of you, this whole issue around choices that are going to affect this relationship might be about work, career, or money, right? Because this is working solidly to a place of long-term stability and security. In relationship, this would be a relationship that's headed towards the ultimate, home, family, stability, security, all of that kind of stuff. It's a sure thing. The Knight of Coins is the Knight of Earth, so he might move a little slower than, the Knight of water or air or fire, but he always crosses the finish line. You can always depend on the Knight of Coins, right? And strength is with this, which we also have here too. But with the Five of Coins, again, I feel like whether it's a job opportunity that you're not looking closely enough at, or discounting in some way, or just not seeing, but it's right around you, or it's another individual right around you that you're not seeing, that could be, because sometimes the Five of Coins in relationships can represent missing somebody that has either approached you or is showing interest or just around you somewhere. That could be the best partner ever for you, but for some reason you're not looking closely enough or discounting it because of something, or in this case it might be because you're still maybe in an unhealthy way attached to this relationship that isn't good for you. Let's clarify that Five of Coins. And the challenge is to have the strength to see clearly both any new opportunities, but particularly this one that feels like it's just a cycle that keeps repeating itself. Could be a relationship, could be a job. It's probably a relationship for most of you. So I'm clarifying that Five of Coins, and I've got the Ace of Wands, which is an exciting new beginning, the beginning of something new that holds the promise of leading to future stability, but for some reason, you're not seeing it. or you're not seeing it the way that you're not seeing what the potential is. Give me another couple of cards on that, please, Spirit. The Four of Cups, an offer being made, somebody considering it but not in a hurry to take it because they already have a few cups there. Yeah. Two of Swords, stuck, reluctant, resistant to see something. The Six of Coins, a gift. Somebody wants to give you, the Ace of Coins. I mean, yeah, the High Priestess in reverse. You're not seeing something clearly. You're not paying. Your intuition is trying to tell you something about some other offer or opportunity that is very close to you, that either you're simply not seeing it, you're not paying close enough attention, or it has approached you but you discounted it or dismissed it out of hand because of whatever. You're stuck, like in relationships. It would be, if I let go of this, and I'll be devastated and crushed, and I'll never find anybody else again who, all the things we tell ourselves, right? To keep ourselves in unhealthy but addictive situations. You're not seeing something clearly. Well, I think there's a couple things you're not seeing here clearly. Number one, the thing that you're involved in, which is pulling on the emotional part of you. You're really trying hard to exercise this, but you're stuck. And there's something, some other offer or opportunity around you that you're just not seeing, or seeing in the right way. This is going to make sense to who needs to. Maybe only to a smaller group of Geminis, but there it is. I feel pretty strongly about that, not seeing something for what it is, for what it could be here. All right. Let's wrap this up by asking for advice and guidance. Because after all, we're only looking at a 2-week period of time, but a lot can happen in 2 weeks, Advice, guidance, feedback from Spirit for Gemini for the last 2 weeks of August. The Eight of Cups, leaving behind that which you may have thought in the beginning was going to be your Nine of Cups, but it really turned out not to be. So you're turning your back and you're leaving and you're moving out into new horizons. You may not know exactly what's out there, but you're leaving what is not fulfilling for you. The Two of Cups. The Devil. Yeah. This person, for those of you that are in a relationship whose cycle just keeps repeating itself in a painful, dysfunctional way. Dysfunctional doesn't mean something doesn't function. It means it functions in a painful way, right? They may very well be a soulmate, twin flame, kindred spirit, whatever you want to call it. But those people, we can have more than one in our lives. Soulmate doesn't necessarily mean someone that we're destined to be with for the rest of our lives, physically. It simply represents that God, Spirit, angels, and guides need to bring you guys together in order for the evolution of your soul to learn things so that you can, if you choose to, learn and grow and evolve, which is why we're here. And that, the lessons and the value of the lessons and the involvement experience is what we take with us for the rest of our lives, not necessarily always the relationship itself, right? And I think that's what this is here. And these kind of endings, if you choose to, because it looks like Spirit is advocating that you leave something that is toxic, unhealthy, but just keeps sucking you back in here, right? It can be very painful. But Spirit never leaves us hanging, even when at the time, when we're in the valley, we think that Spirit is, but they're not. There's something else here, but I think that your eyes and the eyes of your heart are too full of this to see something else, someone else there. Let's see what else there is for advice and guidance. So after that, there is Six of Swords, which is healing, moving away from the source of all of that choppy water. Makes sense. And then look at this. We have the King of Cups and the Ten of Coins. The Ten of Coins, again, this thing that you're not seeing, the potential for that you're not seeing that's so close to you. And here it's attached to a specific individual. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or somebody who shows up as that lovely, supportive, emotional, but because he's the king of water, the king of emotions, but he's a king, or she, So this is somebody who's a grown-up with their emotions as well. They're in tune, they're responsible for them, they're intuitive about emotions and the emotions of the people around them. You know, they're probably very people observant as well. Coming full of long-term stability and security, something that you can root yourself in, you know, really rest in. So it's lovely. But it's on the other side of kind of, you know, walking away from this. I think for some of you, you've learned everything that you can. It can't go any further, which is why Spirit is saying, okay, now it's time to go. Free will, free agency, right? The purpose of the readings, both general and personal, is to provide as much clarity on paths and options as possible so that whatever decision you make it with your eyes open, right? Okay, well, that was kind of deep. Gemini, those are your messages for the last half of August. I hope that you enjoyed them, found them helpful, useful, gave you something to chew on for a while. Again, if any of this resonates with you enough that you would like to reach out for a personal reading, maybe take a deeper look for yourself or as a gift for someone else, feel free to email me directly, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can also see that contact info by clicking the description link with this video. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the September general readings. Stay safe and well until then, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.